the super cool Spartan from Q the Woodshed here with my brother Brian, the super mad Spartan. He looks pretty cool today, though.
Hey, man, call me the passionate Spartan. I'm passionate.
Passionate Spartan, yes, sir, yes, sir. So we're doing a special edition of the show for the big battle of the Paul Bunyan Trophy, Michigan edition against Michigan. We have coming up here. This coming up Saturday. We are honored to have our first ever guest of the show,
Very
the
honored.
legendary Little John Flowers, here joining us here. Little John, how you doing, man? So glad that we got a chance to meet, and you're joining the show with us here this evening for the special edition for the against the much hated Michigan Wolverines.
It's an honor to be here, man. Like y'all, I love what y'all doing. It's an honor to be the first. So I'm just ready. I'm ready to get after and talk about some football.
All right.
Yes,
And like I
indeed.
said, we're glad to have you here in the show. So, just to give a little bit of background on Little John, he was the dynamic running back for the Spartans from 1998 to 2001. He played under Nick Saban and then Bobby Williams. And if I recall, I think when you were at Michigan State, you beat Michigan twice.
Twice. Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta give it up for
So
those
he
Spartan
knows
dogs
about
who
the.
love it.
Oh yeah. He knows
Yeah,
about.
I was
He
there
knows
for
about.
the Plexico Burris day where he just went off. Had about 257 yards receiving. I was there. I think I was a sophomore then, and then I was there for the catch in the 1 second
Oh,
with
01?
TJ.
Oh, they call the clock
Yeah.
gates.
Yeah.
Oh, it's an
Yeah.
excuse over there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So most of my Michigan buddies, they refer to that as the Spartan Bob controversy with the clock.
They're just
Right.
haters.
Just
Oh,
haters.
yeah.
That's all that is.
Yeah, they're just haters. So, to kick things off, Little John, how is it playing as a player in the Michigan game? Because as fans, we just see what we see on the field. We get right up to all the media talk, the media hype, especially here locally, with that highly anticipated battle. But as a former Michigan State player, how is it playing in that specific game?
Oh, it means something to us. I mean, it's, we have we do a little extra every, starting in winter conditioning. We used to do something a little extra for Michigan. Maybe it's a extra run, maybe it's an extra hill, an extra rep. We always do a little something extra, for Michigan because we know that that's a big game. It means something to us. It's the real deal. That we want to beat them. So, we just, all through the off season we're doing things, and we preparing, getting ready for the season. But we always got our eyes locked in on this game coming up here because it's big time. We want to win that game. We definitely want to win that game. It's a rivalry, and we want to have bragging rights. So we are we're doing extra. But then when it gets down to that week, you can just tell when it's Michigan week. When it's Michigan week, everybody out there, you catch a ball. We catch a ball. We finish 20 yards in practice, 30 yards in practice. But Michigan week, that thing going all the way to the house. We're going to take it all the way to the house. You get the handoff, you going all the way to the house. It's Michigan week. We doing a little extra. It means it's a big deal for us. So, as a player, this is what we come to Michigan State for. We really want to beat them. So, that's just how it is. That's what it is. We want to win all our games, but this is the one.
Got it.
I think one of the things is I don't think a lot of people outside of this, like outside of Michigan, know how deep the rivalry really is. Like I know there
Yeah,
has other rivalries in college football, but I think Michigan and Michigan State is so unique because these are schools that literally hate each other from administration down, and so
right.
everybody gets more in. But I know there's times where even if the Spartans record might not be so good, you know, maybe even if I'm not as down on the team, but I know tomorrow I'm gonna start feeling it. I'm gonna start let's get ready, let's get it built up. You know, I don't care what the records are. I want to root my boys on as hard as I can.
Yep, yep. You throw the records out the door. I mean, I don't care what rank they is or what rank we is. When we play tomorrow or when we play Saturday, it's the real deal. Like it's right now, right here, mano y mano, and we about to see what's going on. So, it doesn't matter what the record is.
Yeah, yeah. And to piggyback with off what Brian was saying, yeah, this rivalry is a very unique one because, like Brian said, I mean, when it comes to Michigan, and I think Draymond Green have mentioned this when they did the documentary "Divided We Stand." It doesn't matter if we play Michigan in badminton or highlight or baseball or swimming. It could be, just rock throwing. We have to beat them. It doesn't matter what it is. It does
Right.
not matter what it is. We just have to get it in. And to your point, Little John, yeah, when it comes to rivalry games, specifically with this one, yeah, records don't matter. It's just this one game
Yep.
because this one game, like you said, is bragging rights, and the loser, they have to just sit in that gut type for the whole year, like, ugh.
Mm. It's the worst feeling. Like it is like when you beat Michigan, man, that year is just awesome. I mean, that is a great year. It's a great feeling to be walking around and, knowing that you done got a win over them boys over there. I mean, it's just a great feeling. And if you lose, it's a horrible feeling. Like, damn, gotta listen to those Michigan fans for a whole year until we get some get back. So, it's
Oh yeah, oh
it's a
yeah.
big game, big game.
Yeah, moving right along. Okay, so we know we got the matchup coming up on Saturday. Uh, what do you think some of the keys are to winning the game?
I think for us, like we're gonna have to stop the run. I mean, point blank period. I think from what I do when I have seen them or watched highlights or of Michigan, um, we're gonna have to stop the run. Um, we're gonna do whatever we're gonna have to do whatever it takes to stop the run. We're gonna have to make them beat us throwing the ball. If it was me, I'd have, 9 guys in the box and one-on-one coverage over there. Let's take a chance. Like you can't let them just pound the ball down the field on us. So we're gonna have to, we're gonna really have to stop the run. And then on offense, we're gonna have to play a really good, flawless game. I think we're gonna have to make some big plays. The receivers is gonna have to make a play. The quarterback gonna have to play some. Um, they're a pretty good, tough defense, but I mean, we're gonna have to take some shots. I really believe that we're gonna have to take some shots. Somebody gonna have to step up and make some plays down the field, um, and get some touchdowns that way. And no stupid mistakes, no turnovers. If we don't turn the ball over and we stop the run, we have a chance. And I like those chances at the Woodshed on Saturday night.
Yes.
I think that's kind of been an issue all year with the team is penalties and untimely turnovers, just beating
Yeah.
ourselves. Like I look at the games, and I think it's the most frustrating thing as a fan is that we should be at least like 4-2. I don't. We've
Yep.
been beating ourselves the last 3 weeks.
Yep. Yep. And that's what it is. Like it's the guys gotta they gotta rally together and get back to, each one of them doing their job, you know, um, everybody doing what they're supposed to do, working together as a team. And that's the job of the coaches to get them ready and get them, prepared to do that. And, holding on to the ball and not turning the ball over. That, turning the ball
Oh
over
yeah.
kills you. You
Oh
turn
yeah.
that ball over. That is, it's a piece of gold when I used to carry the ball. That was like when I used to carry the ball, I would think that I have the whole program in my arm. Pretty much. I'm holding the ball. The whole program is on my shoulders right now. So I got to protect this. And you know, they will this week. This week, I got confidence in them that they'll turn it around. I think those kids are hungry, and I think they've been beat down from this season and everything that's been going on, and nothing will make that feel
Oh
better with a
yeah,
win
especially
this
against
weekend.
Michigan because
Definitely against
Right,
Michigan.
because Little John, I don't know if you've seen the
right.
spread of this game, but Michigan's favored by 24 points. So, the expectation is they're supposed to come into the
What?
woodshed and just
Yeah.
24 points?
yes, it's a 24-point spread. So, that gives the impression that
Wow.
they're supposed to just come into
Right.
the woodshed and just pummel us, just beat us into this dust. So
Wow.
yeah, that
That's
Yeah,
crazy because
that's
that
that's tough.
that
And that's good. I hope they listening to that. I hope our team listening to that and they feeling that energy that they coming in here to kick y'all
yeah,
butt. What you gonna do about that? And everybody think that's what's gonna happen. They think they gonna just lay down and they gonna come in here and do what they do. Well, like this is the woodshed got started back when we was playing. Like, you know, um who was it? Jeff Stoutland may have been the coach, the offensive line coach who
okay.
started it. Like he was like, we about to go play. It was we was about to play somebody, and he was like, "Y'all remember what your dad used to do when he took you out back to the woodshed?" Like you knew what was going on when you went back there to the
Oh
woodshed. You
yeah,
knew what time it was. And that's when the coin started. So they think they about to come up into the
yeah,
woodshed and do the whooping. Man, look here. I know that's disrespectful to all Spartans and a 24
yeah,
point spread. Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
I feel like
Okay.
if we can take them into the fourth quarter and press them, they haven't been pressed all year. They haven't had any pressure
No,
games. I know state
they didn't
we
beat
haven't
everybody.
finished it, but we've had tight games this year. So maybe, just maybe, if we can keep it close and maybe they can make some mistakes because they're not infallible. They're human beings. If we can press them, put a little pressure on them, maybe them pipes start bursting.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm
yeah.
hoping for because they haven't. You're right. They haven't really um they haven't been tested. It's been a cakewalk for them through the whole season. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I think it's time for somebody to hit them in the mouth, and why not us?
Oh yeah. Oh
Somebody
yeah.
hit you in the mouth, and like I said, you got to stop that run, man. You come down there, you put those guys in the box, make them turn into something that they ain't, where they want to throw the ball. Like you got to throw the ball, like long third downs. Put them in long third down situations where it's you got to pass the ball. I want to see that quarterback then because right now, they getting like 5-6 yards of carry, and
Yeah.
third down or third and one. Those manageable downs there. So we need to get up in there and you know stop that run.
And
That's what
even
we
if you
got to
look
do.
at last year's game, because this is something that Brian and I talk about a lot from last year's game. I mean, Michigan State had their opportunities to win that game because they held Michigan to primarily field goals. And really, if you take out the
Yeah.
turnovers, that led to, the touchdowns, I mean, and if the offense really had some kind of rhythm to it, we could have won that game last year. And the score really didn't indicate that
Right,
because if you
right.
just look at the score, I think it was like 29-7 last year, and you just look at that, you're like, oh wow, Michigan really dominated State. But if you really watch the game, like we
Yeah.
did with
Yeah.
more of
Mm-hmm.
a
Yes.
sharper eye, I mean, basically it was just like I said, we held Michigan to field goals, and outside of those turnovers that they turned the touchdowns. that's a close game. So
Right.
I said at least
Right.
put some pressure on them. That's it. I think that's the most we can ask for right now. Put pressure on them and see what happens. Because this is going to be a night game. I know a lot of people are down on the season, down on the fan base, but it'll get loud in there. People will show up, and you got to make
Oh yeah.
sure
Yeah.
you say, hey, maybe they can't handle it. It's going to take a lot, but I feel like it's happened before. Why not happen again?
yeah,
Absolutely. And they'll show up for this game. You're absolutely right, dude. We'll be out there in droves for this game. Night game, Michigan. Oh yeah. At Michigan's at the Woodshed. Yeah, it's going. They'll be there.
oh yeah,
Our fans
oh
will be
yeah.
there.
So, Little John, let me ask this: in times where you, as a player, you may have had, every season there's ups and downs, and the season may not go as you had thought it would. In those times where, like in this case, MSU, they've lost 3 games in a row, 3 tough games. In those type of situations, experiencing that through the year as a player, how did you manage that? How did you manage that with your teammates? If you have like consecutive games where you've lost and just like, wow, how did you manage that, as a player, those tough times?
I think you asked me how do you because you kind of froze
He
up on me, but
froze.
I think he was I think he was asking me how do we uh, bounce back from some of these like turbulent times that we're in right now, and what do you do as a player? Is that what the question is that he asked me?
Okay, so
I'm pretty sure
he
that's
kind
what
of
it
froze in
was.
my end, but
Oh,
we
I'm
make
sorry.
it work. Oh, he back.
It was as a
Yeah.
player, how did you manage
The
like any
last part of
tough
your question
times,
was
it went throughout the season? If you had a string of losses or tough losses, how would you kind of manage that, trying to get through those tough times?
Mhm. Well, first, hopefully you have like some good leaders on your team, some good
Mm-hmm.
seniors on your team that just don't want to accept that, that has been in the program, um, that just won, like we're going to a bowl game. I know that we've lost, these 2-3 games in a row, but we're gonna win against Michigan. We're gonna win this. We're gonna win this. We get into a bowl game. Hopefully, you have some leadership in the locker room like that, that really wants to do more and don't want to leave a legacy of losing for their senior year. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of look towards the seniors and see what type of seniors you have, and hopefully you got some of those guys on the team. And then, just personally, it's you got to look in the mirror. Every player, man to man, what are you playing for? Um, and I know you playing for uh, that school, which is Michigan State, that's on the front of that jersey. But then you also plan for that name on the back of the jersey. What do you want to put on film? What do you want to put on the field for everybody to see on these national televised games? And now, it's way more nationally televised now than it was when I was playing with social media and stuff. What do you want to put on film there? And you look yourself in the mirror and say, like, I'm not putting any bad film out there. I am going out here to do what I am supposed to do, and I'm gonna do it at, with everything I got, and I'm doing it for myself, and I'm doing it for my school, and we're gonna try to turn this thing around. So it's a combination of like what type of seniors and leadership you have in that locker room, and then what type of character you have as players that you have recruited and brung in here. Are they going to look in the mirror and make sure that this is where they want to, what they want to do?
Okay, I like that. They have to play for the name on the front, name for the back. I like that. So let's keep going
Mm-hmm.
along with it. Like I said, the season hasn't gone kind of the way everybody would like it to have gone. But you kind of explain like how do you turn things around? You kind of touched on it already, I guess, when you say play for the front, name on the front, name on the back. So how do you think what can this team do specifically this year to turn things around?
Well, to be honest, it starts this weekend. Um, I mean, the performance that you put out there this weekend is going to be big for the program. Like for the program going forward, and this, the rest of this season, um, the type of performance that we go out there and give. Are those guys fighting? Are they playing for the coach? Are they giving it everything they got? Um, if they're doing that and they go out there and it's a dogfight and you see that, we win or we lose respectfully, like we actually, you seen some fight, you seen some heart. If you see some heart and you see some fight, I think this season to get turned around because they know that they're doing this against, the number 2 team in the country or number 2 or number 3 team in the country. So, if you see some fight, if you see them not giving up and you see them doing that, I think the season can turn around with a good, with a good win or a good performance coming out there Saturday. But you know, if it don't look like that, it's going to be some tough times around there for a little while until we can get it figured out and get it turned around. That's just what it's going to be.
I like that because this is going to be the next biggest game. This is probably the first time all season that State will have this prime time game versus a top 2 team. So I know we played Washington, but
Right.
Washington, that was on Peacock. It wasn't on NBC. This is
Yeah.
NBC nighttime, the game everybody's looking forward to. And so
they're
going to have to show up.
Yep.
Because it'd be embarrassing to go out there and get whooped.
I know. And these are the games that, I know I especially love those nationally televised games. Those ones that I knew that everybody was going to be watching, everybody going to see. Like, if you got some character on that team, they should show up. Because when the lights is brightest, that's when you want to show out. If you want any type of aspirations after, college ball, this is the games that you need to show up for. So, hopefully we got those guys in our locker room, and I think we do have some, and so I'm looking forward to it.
I've always stated since day one, there's talent on this team. There's some people there's some players on it that can get it done. I just don't think they've always been put in the best positions to do that. But you see it flash every game. You say, oh man, this guy right here, I see him, he's doing this. All right, then kind of don't see him again. We need to be that more consistent with it.
Right. Absolutely. And, to be fair to the players, I think they don't have it's been a tough road for us,
Yes.
with leadership here right now. And, it's kind of hard. I know those guys don't know who's going to be leading them and where it's going. I mean, if you're a freshman there right now or a sophomore there right now, you don't know what's about to happen.
No.
You just hopefully you plan to see if this coach might be my coach and he might not be my coach. So you know what I'm saying? Like, they probably making some business decisions on their own, and I can't blame the kids for that. It's hopefully we can get some leadership in there and get these kids headed in the right direction again. So that's where they at, in my opinion.
Kind of leads me into my next question. There's a head coaching vacancy at Michigan State. So, what are some of the qualities that Michigan State should be looking for in the next head coach?
For me, I want a guy I want a person that's passionate, and that's passionate about Michigan State. Whether that's a former player or somebody out there that has ties, big ties to Michigan State, somebody that's, that want to come back and make this their home. We need somebody that bleeds green, like somebody that, have the same passion as I do, about the team. So I think it starts there, and then it goes to like somebody who can recruit. And I mean, it's a different day and age, and
Yes.
we had a big meeting with all the former players and stuff, a Zoom meeting about what everything that's happened right now, and they're gonna be looking for coaches and stuff like that. And um I got educated on the new way that coaches are now with the new recruiting, the NILs, and all these things that they got going on. It's a different day. I was at first, I was big on like, I want somebody there that has passion, that a Michigan State guy that I'm looking at, like Mark D'Antonio type
Yes.
person that's that came back, and they like he turned that program, and Mark D'Antonio was the program. Want somebody like that, and that the kids just love playing for, But nowadays, with the NIL deal, some of these kids love playing for the money, which I
Can't
can't
blame
blame
them
them
at
for that
all.
either. You know what I'm saying? There's no blaming those kids for that. So I need somebody who's going to be like super educated on that part too, where they can bring some players in, that they can get in the transfer portal and try to get some people to come over to Michigan State. The kid Walker that came from Virginia or West Virginia, like we need more of those people to come,
Yes.
come to Michigan State. How can we get it done? What do we got at Michigan State, and how can we get some of those kids that's in that transfer portal to come over there? Whatever's everybody else doing, I want us doing, and I want somebody that can match that type of intensity, and and get us some players, and keep our
Yes.
players. I mean, I want our players to stay too now. Shoot, we got one player that's down in Florida State now
Balling.
that's, that, hey, he's supposed to be with us, So I need somebody that's gonna keep them too when they get here. So I mean, it's just I'm that's the type of person I'm looking for, and I don't know, it may be a unicorn, I don't know, but we need them at Michigan
I
State
gotta
somehow,
find that unicorn.
some
I'm
way.
with you. It's a tough thing because on the message board, the Michigan State fans saying we want this guy, we want that guy, but you never really know until the coach gets there, because you can look at so many different things with the
Yeah,
coaches. Like Mark D'Antonio, for instance, we looked at his record at Cincinnati before he comes to Michigan State. He didn't have the greatest of records, but he interviewed, and they chose him, and he's been like the best coach we've had in a very long time. He's the all-time winningest coach
ever.
now. So it's like, so it could be anybody, but I agree with you. It has to be someone who's a leader, and they're gonna have to be able to navigate this new crazy world of recruiting and NIL, and keep on. We have to keep recruiting your players now too. To your point, yeah, keep them here. Gotta keep them happy.
Yeah,
So that takes a lot, and I don't know what
yep,
that looks like. I don't know what the person is, but I definitely agree with the some of the characteristics you mentioned.
absolutely.
All right, so kind of getting down to it, near the end of it. Brother kind of gets the computer kind of comfortable. We still going along through it. Spartans will.
Yeah, we got we'll hold it down.
Is there anything else that you kind of just want to talk about, or any questions for us, or
No, I just just keep supporting those little young fellas. They are youngins and in college. They're not uh, professional
yes,
athletes yet. And just remember, those guys are, they are trying to go to school and do football, and it's a lot of pressure on those kids these days, man. So just remember that when we going through this, but hold our coaches accountable.
yes,
I mean, hold them accountable. I'm all about that. Hold them accountable. Make sure that they doing what they supposed to do. And I just love this platform that y'all got. And I will always come on and be a
oh,
guest if y'all
definitely, I
need me.
definitely
So just
appreciate
let
it.
me know, man.
And I always have to remind myself that these are
Oh
our
yeah.
kids, young men, and I can't be so
Mhm.
hard on them. So I know sometimes my
Yep.
brother always comes super mad Spartan, but like I said, I'm passionate because I love Michigan State. For me, I grew up
Absolutely.
going up to East Lansing to visit my brother because he's 12 years older than me. So, well,
Yeah.
every Sunday we used to go visit him in his dorm room up in Holden. So to me, that's all I ever wanted to go be a Spartan. And so I always have to tell myself, okay, I
Right.
can't just start just spitting out stuff and spitting venom at these young men. And it's just, to always hold that in my mind.
Right.
So I definitely appreciate that advice. And we would definitely love to have you back on the show to talk about any and everything.
Absolutely. I'm here
So we're
for
going
you.
to wrap it up.
Spartan
So
Nation.
go green, and we'll check you out later on. And have you back on the show. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming on our show.
My brother. No problem. Thank you, guys.